All right, guys, welcome to the SLC Dunk post-game show. The Utah Jazz defeat the Phoenix Suns 120 to 102. This is James Hansen at Hansen James on Twitter. It's fun to watch the Jazz win. I've had 2 days to get over my catatonic state that I was in from what happened the last time we played the Phoenix Suns, and that frustrating play by I can't even remember who it is. He doesn't even matter. But Exum goes down. The shoulder was separated, and a lot of us just kind of flipped our desks and just. I mean, it just happens again. It's the most frustrating thing, and I don't want to dwell on the Exum injury because this is a post-game show. But it was nice to see the Jazz come out and play free basketball. They really moved the ball well, shot the ball well. Just another game of the Jazz coming out with really great offense. It's really exciting. At this point, when is it real? I mean, we keep having people say, "Oh, it's the Phoenix Suns," or "Oh, it's Maccabi Haifa," or "Oh, it's the NBL team." Well, you know what? The Suns are an NBA team, and the Jazz went out to a big-time lead in the first half. Part of the reason that the Jazz went up in the first half is Ricky Rubio was hitting shots like crazy. So finally, that maybe he's found that shot and kind of getting back to his averages. Let's just hope, fingers crossed, that Ricky Rubio gets to a better average than he's used to. Because if Ricky Rubio's hitting shots like that, this is what happens. The Jazz become dynamic. The Jazz really pushed the ball well. And one of the things I'm really excited about, one of the things they did in this game again, and are getting better at, is pushing the ball up the court. But not just pushing the ball up the court and getting points in transition. The Jazz are still defending really well. So the Jazz have a plus 18 differential in this game against the Suns. They really pushed the ball. And this was without Rudy Gobert, guys. So Rudy Gobert sits. Dante Exum's out. Please tell me that Exum can come back sometime this year. He might be out all year, guys. We might just have to get used to that fact, and it's heartbreaking, but Rudy Gobert sits. We start, I believe Ekpe Udo started. If you were able to find a stream, thank you, Phoenix Suns, for at least a first half Facebook stream that we were able to watch. I watched the game from nefarious sources because I have to watch the game. It's funny, some people are just like rookies with illegal streams, and it's like you have to walk through them. No, you don't have to click on the things. You don't have to update your ad blocker, blah, blah, blah. Just click X. But anyways, we were able to watch the game, and thank goodness for whoever it is in England or Australia or some European country that is able to tap into the jumbotrons, because that's the feed I was watching. I was watching the jumbotron feed, watching the Jazz destroy them on the jumbotron. It was really good though. I don't know. I watched Rubio just decimate the Suns, absolutely just cut them up. He had I think let's see. Let's look at the stats for Ricky Rubio. He was 8 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. 20 points, plus 12, plus or minus. And that was against starters, so plus 12 against Suns starters, who admittedly are very bad. Well, let's just go there. So Donovan Mitchell, already better than Devin Booker. I don't want to hear any more Devin Booker talk from Jazz fans, Suns fans, any more of it. Because he's not that great, guys. He's inefficient on offense. He's just inefficient. He doesn't hit shots. He doesn't get to the free throw line. He is like the poppers at the poppers. You know what I'm talking about when you're doing fireworks? You have those little poppers that get on the ground. The funny thing is that most poppers that you throw don't even pop. They're just kind of duds. That's kind of like Devin Booker. He's like these poppers, and they're kind of fun, and they're nostalgic, and no one thinks about them very much. But when you actually sit down and study the poppers, they don't really work all the time, and it's frustrating. It's the same thing with Devin Booker. He's just not that efficient. And you know what else? He doesn't play defense. So he's not a very good firework, I guess. And that's why Donovan Mitchell might already be better than Devin Booker, guys. He plays defense. He gets transition buckets. Like he did it tonight. He got a backcourt steal, goes all the way. He shot an efficient line as well. I mean, he had some shots that didn't look great, and he hit some threes that were just monster. Donovan Mitchell, 7 for 13 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. Was a +9 with 17 points. That's incredible stuff, guys. Let's look at Devin Booker. Let's see if he 5 for 12. So Donovan Mitchell, 7 for 13. That's over 50% from the field. Devin Booker, 5 for 12 from the field, less than 50%. He did hit 2 for 4 from 3, and in his defense, 7 for 8 free throws. -17 plus minus. -17 while he was on the floor. And I understand that plus minus has to deal with who else is on the floor and who else is he dealing with. Although he's sitting there with Eric Bledsoe, who is a good player and a good defender. -17. At what point do we accept the fact that he's not a winning player? But you know who's going to be a winning player? Donovan Mitchell, because he plays defense, he passes the ball. The best thing about this game for me with Donovan Mitchell was watching him. I mean, his passing is, when he's passing the ball, he dishes it so well. He gets those assists, and they look good. He really can pass the ball, and he can shoot. He's accurate. 7 for 12, 2 for 4 from 3, or something like 7 for 13. Sorry, but yeah, that's fantastic. That's a rookie 4th preseason game. This is big time stuff, guys. There's reasons to be very, very, very excited about Donovan Mitchell and what he's going to bring to the table for years. That bounce is incredible. What I'm excited about and what I'm going to look for in the next game from Donovan is just the fact that he is going to just kind of learn what his limits are, because every player has limits, Some players can do certain things that others can't, and you just got to learn what those things are, and then you work on those things in the offseason. But then also what your advantages are, because he has a lot of them. He's quicker than a lot of players. His athleticism is elite. He is fast as anyone on the floor. So he'll learn when to use that, when not to. There was one play where he got blocked by Mike James, which he probably should have passed it out. Probably shouldn't have taken the drive, at all. And that's fine. That's how you learn. You do those things, you go back, you watch them, and you learn from it. And that just takes time and minutes and repetition. And as the more and more the Jazz are able to give minutes to Donovan Mitchell, let him just go, let him play free, let him make some mistakes here and there that he can learn from and improve on. Because I can tell you what, everything I've heard from is that just Donovan Mitchell is not just a physical talent, he's a fierce competitor, and he's a film watcher. That guy goes in and he wants to learn and be better. He wants to be great. He's like Rudy in that sense. Rudy Gobert, just a fierce competitor, wants to be great. Donovan Mitchell's the same way, and and he goes in and he goes studies film. He's going to be great. Garrett Pierce, Booker is so overrated. Couldn't agree more, my man. He is fool's gold. He looks like it, but when you actually sit down and look at the numbers and actually the team record, I mean, there's a reason they've lost so many games. He doesn't help you win. He's the only player I know that can score 70 points in a blowout loss. Eesh. Is that really what you want? Josh Tyree, Donovan Mitchell, 45. Muscle emoji. Like this. Guys, guess what? Diet bet. I made my diet bet. So for the SLC dunk competition we had, the lose your weight thing to help JP Gibson. Prayers for JP Gibson, by the way. I made it. I made my 4% body weight loss. And guess who bought all the pizza today? I bought all the pizza. I bought all the ice cream. I feel sick. But you know what? The Jazz won. Donovan Mitchell just looks incredible, so I'm as happy as could be. I'm very happy. Garrett Pierce, less than 50% effective field goal percentage. I think you're talking about Devin Booker, and yes, it's atrocious. It's very bad. It's really, really bad. So stop telling me Devin Booker. Stop telling me we should have drafted Devin Booker. You guys, Devin Booker's not very good. And he wouldn't play on a Quinn Snyder team because he doesn't play defense. We would lose possessions to him. He is no better. Think about this. He's no better defender than Trey Burke. He's comparable to Trey Burke as a defender. That's not what you want on the floor if you want to win games, at least. So, Udo looked really good in the defense. The Jazz are going to have 48 minutes of rim protection with Rudy Gobert and FK Udo. Derek Favors had a really nice game, was playing almost for a 5x5, and just looked comfortable out there. I was kind of watching him a little bit. He moved comfortably on the perimeter. He's really got to keep that weight down. I know that if he has a little more weight on his bones, like he did back in the day where he had the strength plus the mass. He was just indestructible, but that weight is hard to stay healthy with. And so Derek's got to find a way to somehow get that burst, but also keep the weight off because man, it's hard to be healthy and be 6'10" and weigh 280 pounds. Like it's just hard to stay healthy. So if I don't know exactly what Favors is at, but I'm guessing he's a lot lighter than he's been in the past, and hopefully that can help him stay healthy because man, Derek Favors is a big part of us winning some games this year. So really nice to see Derek Favors play well. And it for the first time in a while we saw that pick and roll where Favors gets that roll to the rim. Really nice. He doesn't quite have the same explosion as before, and I don't know if that's just never going to come back or if that'll slowly get back as because the Jazz have their new health crew. Thank you, Phoenix Suns, for our new VP of health. He needs to earn his money. It looks like he might already be earning it with Derek Favors, and needs to really help Dante Exum get healthy. Just bring him back healthy. Jazz need to re-sign Dante Exum, by the way. They really do, because my goodness, he's going to be so good when he comes back. He was going to be so good this year. It's frustrating. But the benefit, the side thing is that Ricky Rubio can now play with freedom, because Dante Exum was our best point guard so far this preseason, hands down. And, now he's injured and it really sucks. But Ricky Rubio's looked really good this game. He's looked good in the past. His shot just wasn't falling. It fell tonight. I wouldn't expect this every night because that's just not what he is, but maybe he can shoot it at an average rate and because if Ricky Rubio can shoot just average, he becomes incredibly good. His defense is incredible. His steals are going to fit right in with this new Jazz turnover defense. That's so fun to watch. And if he can just shoot average, he doesn't have to shoot good, just shoot average. Ricky Rubio's passing, court vision, and manning the offense is going to be incredible this year. So let's just all hope that Ricky Rubio can become average at shooting, because that would be incredibly amazing to see. That would be so good for this team. Other notes. I think it's kind of funny how Quinn Snyder basically he just takes a broomstick, cracks it in half, throws it on the court, and then tells Royce O'Neal and Royce O'Neal and Ball and Boy to just, all right, last man standing, make the team. He's done that 3 games now, so that Royce O'Neal and Ball and Boy just have to figure it out, and it's kind of awesome, kind of funny to me a little bit. But you know what? Kudos to Ball and Boy and kudos to Royce O'Neal, because both of them are playing unselfishly. They are passing the ball. I wonder if it's a begrudging pass from the other one to pass it to the other to allow them to make the play that might make the other not make the team, which is a crazy paradigm. But they're playing right and playing well within the offense. They're both Jazz men. They both are playing the way you would want them to play. And kudos to you, Ball and Boy, and kudos to you, Royce O'Neal. Both good guys, playing hard, both talented, both deserve to make an NBA roster somewhere. I hope you both make the Jazz. I don't know. I don't think they can. I mean, there's just only so many spots on the Jazz roster. There's just 15 spots. And, but they'll make an NBA roster. If they don't make it with the Jazz, they'll make it with another one, because both have played really well in the preseason. So kudos to those guys, doing really well. Love to see that type of fight from them. I don't see any questions from you guys, but the Jazz outclassed the Suns. You know what? Both in how they destroyed them, and also just in the way the players played. Tyson Chandler gets a flagrant 2. Is this who the Suns are now? That they injure other teams' players? What's going on? I mean, I get it. You got hit in the cojones, Tyson Chandler. Does that mean you need to throw a flagrant foul to Neto? I doubt it was intentional. And if it was, then Neto's the coolest wolf I've ever known. But I doubt it was. So calm down, Tyson Chandler, you loser. Gosh. So frustrating to see players, because these guys are so valuable, not just to their team, but to the cities and the economy and things like that. Dante Exum getting hurt sucks, because he was going to turn into a star this year, guys. He flat out was. And then that injury just puts it off, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. So when you see Tyson Chandler do a flagrant foul like that, it's, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's stupid. It's really dumb. It's Bush League garbage. So let's see. Oh, we got a question. Josh Tyree, what do you think we will end the season with? How many games do we win? Well, I'm going to tell you, and I talked about this on Twitter. and you guys can follow me on Twitter. I try to reply to everyone and talk to everyone. But the fact is, the Jazz's defense has been so dominant in this preseason and has just decimated the Suns. They were so frustrated. They could not run anything, and the Jazz got so many turnovers. I mean, we're going to play 82 games this year. 41 of them are going to be with 500 teams with a 500 record or below, and we're going to win those games because our defense is just going to be dominant. The fact that there are less back-to-backs means we're going to be less tired on defense, which means we're going to win 41 minimum. And we're going to beat some good teams this year. So I think 45 to 48 is kind of where we'll be. Hopefully we don't have any more serious injuries. We're going to have injuries. It happens. But let's just hope we don't have any long-term things like what happened to Dante. And we'll win 45 games this year probably. 45 to 48 depending on if a few balls bounce our way. I really look at the Jazz as like a dominant defensive football team that just runs the ball, that just has an elite running back, just a game manager quarterback, and then an elite defense. And we just pound you, and we get a lead, and we just win because you just can't score. And so that's how the Jazz are going to win games. They're going to win a lot of games this year, guys. I love Bill Simmons' theory, the Ewing theory, and we're going to see that this year with Gordon Hayward, but Gordon Hayward, everything was tooled around his game. And part of that was not having the up-tempo offense because we were trying to get Gordon Hayward touches to help him make the All-Star team. We did everything for Gordon Hayward. And now we're playing up-tempo offense. We're playing in transition. The ball is moving up the court. Everyone's running. If you don't run, you're not going to get on the court, so you're going to see players run. Rudy runs. Rubio gets you the ball. Ingles runs. They all pass, and if you run, you'll get buckets. And we do that now, and it might make us better in some ways. Obviously, Hayward was an excellent player, and most definitely would rather have had him re-sign. But the fact that he's gone is going to show some really nice benefits. I mean, the fact that we can move in transition. Cephalosha is a better defender. There's going to be some benefits to it. It's going to be more fun in some ways. We're not going to be such a clunky half-court offense designed around getting Gordon Hayward his points and assists. Exactly, Gordon. Yeah, right. Benedict Hayward, I think his name is. Gordon Haywood. Haywood, would you like to actually make a end-of-game shot? So, anyways, the Jazz look really good. The defense played well. On top of running with the ball and transition. We're not going to be able to do this against every team, but you know what? We're going to do this against all the bad teams. And if we can do this against a lot of the good teams, we're going to win a lot of games. It's going to be really fun, guys. This is James Hansen James on Twitter with the SLC Dunk post-game show. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, share with your friends. Follow us on Twitter. Go to slcdunk.com, read all our articles. We got all sorts of crazy stuff out there. All right, talk to you later.